How you doing, guys? Back at it again, out in Daisy Hill, out running. Got the hoodie on, it's cooling down in Queensland a little bit, so, but as usual, I've overdone it. And so the last month or so, it's been awesome. Just doing heaps and heaps of jiu-jitsu. I've like doubled my teaching schedule. So I've been on the mat like every day, twice a day, like 6 days a week. And yeah, kind of overdid a little bit. I haven't been out running obviously and doing a lot of the training I normally do. Just really enjoying having my body working really well on the mat. And then 2 days ago, popped my knee again and tweaked my back. So probably won't be rolling for a week or two. But as I've said to you guys, if you get any sort of an injury that stops you rolling, it doesn't mean you have to stop training, not at all. It just means that you separate your training into drilling and then doing like physical fitness stuff that doesn't injure the part. So like running and jogging and hiking hills and stuff doesn't hurt my meniscus. So having tweaked that, it's a little bit achy, you know, it'll be fine. It really needs a surgery, but I can't afford the time off the mat at the moment, so that'll be in the future at some stage. But you know, it happens to everybody, you know. I mean, a lot of people start jiu-jitsu with like a whole list of injuries. I was like that. Started with necks and knees and ankles and shoulders and everything before I even stepped on the mat, you know. And it's just something that you have to deal with. You either deal with these niggly injuries. Often at my age, I mean, they are permanent, and you just have to figure out, you have to have a workaround. You just have to. And so, as I've said to you guys before, if something like this happens, you don't have to stop training. All you do is drill, drill movements that don't hurt whatever it is that you've injured, and then go do fitness work until you can roll again. And then when you go back to rolling, it's all exciting. You haven't lost any fitness, and you've probably improved technically because you've been drilling stuff that maybe isn't your favorite thing and stuff like that. So yeah, you just have to have like a default setting. You have to learn that. And if you don't, then you probably end up quitting jiu-jitsu. And because like you'll go back to it probably prematurely, because like, you know, you haven't been able to replace that kind of happiness with something else. And I mean, rolling is amazing. It's a lot of fun, and at a high level, it's I don't know, almost like an out of body experience sometimes. You know, like maybe a week ago, everything just clicked, and you know, all my students that I rolled with felt it. You know, they're like, man, you were so different tonight. And just the great irony was, it was like 2 days after I put my dog down, and I don't know, I just mentally and physically, I was just like, I don't know, just on, yeah. And it was just this perfect flow state that I haven't felt for a very long time, yeah, and haven't since. But yeah, I don't know, what else is going on? I don't know, not a lot. As I said, I often struggle as to figure out topics to talk about in these videos. So I like it when subscribers, I guess that's the term for you, recommend something, you know, other than like a technical thing. I did a seminar for a bunch of disadvantaged kids the other day, like teenagers, and that was pretty interesting, you know. And the whole theme of it was creative thinking, because if you're not intellectual, if you're not going down that path, then you're going to have to get creative with the way that you think. And I gave them exercises to challenge their creativity. So they had to come up with a way without breaking the law or using, you know, abusing their body like OnlyFans or being a stripper or hooker or whatever it is, right? None of that kind of stuff. And they had to come up with making $200 by the end of the day and how they're going to do it and start with zero. And so, you know, like one person said that they were going to steal the money from a church and then pay it back eventually. That was a fail. But most were really good, you know, like they had a car already and it had fuel in it already, and they would like go do Uber Eats or something like that, and you know, others would, you know, go do lawn mowing and stuff like that, and borrow their neighbour's lawnmower and whippersnapper and do their lawn for free as a result, to be able to get hold of it and then to be able to take it to their neighbours. So that was really awesome, and just having a big heart-to-heart talk to them about what it's like growing up in a dysfunctional family in an area that's pretty poor, and without, you know, many mentors or positive people around you, you know, because the difficult thing is that they don't have a path to follow. There's no one near them that's successful that will lay out a path that they can follow, you know. And if you've got shitty parents and everyone around you is shitty, then there's no path that's kind of illuminated for you to follow. You don't know what to do. And I told them to stop listening to their feelings all the time, because your feelings change. Like, I feel differently now than I did 2 hours ago, different than 2 hours before that. And everybody's the same. So if you follow your feelings all the time, you're just constantly going left and right and up and down and all over the place. So you have to have a plan, and you have to stick to that plan and, you know, see it through, regardless of how you feel about it. You know, I didn't really feel like running today. I knew it would be really muddy, and my shoes would get covered in mud, and it's a little bit overcast, and it's a bit cooler. I didn't feel like running, but I'm like, I have to do this because I can't roll at the moment. I probably could, but I want to give my body a little bit of a break and go back to doing the things that got it in that state in the first place. You know, lots of core work, and, you know, running a couple of times a week, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's just another day. It's just another day, you know, loving what I do, and, you know, dealing with minor setbacks and moving forwards. That's all you can do. Have a default setting. If something happens, default to that, get on, do the work, get back on the mat, keep going. It's all the same. Cheers, guys. Bye.